last question. Do I have any offers or interest? Honestly, what's good, Josh? Key. I know today's vid's a little different for real. As y'all can see, I'm in my room and not on the court. It's a Road to Pros video, but it's not really a Road to Pros video, if you know what I mean. Today's vid, we're just gonna be basically talking about my strengths, weaknesses, my goals, and we're gonna be talking about the question that most people want to know: do I have any offers and do I have any interest? So for those that don't know me, I'm a senior at Carrick High School. Carrick High School is on like the south side of Pittsburgh, kind of about 6'1", 6'2", left-handed. Starting to evolve as like a more of a PG, like more of a fundamental PG than just like a pure score. Scoring and the shooting was always like a strength of my game, and it kind of weaned off the more like I had to step up and try and get my team in the game and all that. First, we're gonna honestly start off with my strengths. My strengths, as y'all know, taller, left-handed, but like more so like not just skill strength. We're gonna talk about like emotional strengths, mental strengths. I think my drive is pretty like it's pretty high. Now, of course, some days you're gonna get like, all right, I don't feel like doing this, I don't feel like doing that. But my drive for the most part is pretty high. Like I get up every day at 5. I get dressed. I get to the school by 6. Then I'm working out before school, and then I go through school and all that. And then after school, I'll usually have practice or another workout or something like that. So during the season, it'll be morning workout for me, then school, then after school practice, and then I might stay after school to like get some extra free throws up or something. So my dedication and drive is like there. Now, of course, some days like I won't feel like doing anything. I'll be like, I'll always like think to myself like, all right, like, should I get up and do this? Like what's gonna happen if I don't do this and all that? But for the most part, my drive is pretty high. So that's strength number one. The next strength I have is my ability to be coached. Like I feel like if a coach tells me something, like I'm not gonna wean off and be like, oh, I'm not trying to hear what you're talking about. I don't really care. I'm here to just do what I gotta do and just leave. I don't really care. I think like if a coach tell me I'm doing something wrong, I'm listening. Even if they're not quite right, I'm always gonna keep an ear out because they might be right, they might be wrong, they might be right, whatever, whatnot. But my ability to be coached, like I think I'm very coachable. But another thing is like if my coach is wrong, I'm gonna step up and let them know like, hey coach, I think we should do this differently, or this isn't quite right. You know what I mean? So that leads into my next strength is me being a leader. Now, my expectations for myself is very high. I feel like I'm playing bad and my head's down, then my team like looks at that and it kind of brings them down because like I feel like I'm the leader of the team. I would hope my team agrees with me, but I feel like I'm the leader of the team. I help bring them up whenever they're down or whatever. So just by them seeing me down probably brings them down a lot more, honestly. But I feel like I'm a leader. If my team is doing something bad, like I'm not necessarily bad, but if they're doing something that isn't the way they should be doing it, I'm gonna let them know. But I'm also gonna be like, hey, you're doing this well, but what you can improve on is this. The biggest thing is like you don't want to just tear them down and like saying like I'm doing everything this way, I'm doing everything right. Y'all need to do this and this and that. Like the first step to being a leader is like always taking accountability for yourself, like, and just letting them know, all right, you're doing this well. I'm doing this well, but I'm slacking on this, and I feel like y'all slacking on this. So it's just like being a leader is like not putting yourself above people, but it's like you kind of leveling them, but you're speaking up for them and bringing it to their attention, like what they could do better and all that. My fourth strength, accountability. I feel like accountability is very important. Like it kind of bothers me when people are wrong about something and like they have someone to blame all the time for it. So like for example, say I did something like say I didn't play defense for a possession or something, but I was playing lazy and then my man scores. And then my coach is like, hey, you got to get back. I'm like, no, my help should be there. But meanwhile, I'm playing lazy. Instead, I would be like, that's my fault, coach. I'm gassed. I'm playing lazy. even if my help was there, I should have tried to recover. So like that's an example of taking accountability. And the first one was like just me blaming someone else. So accountability to me is very important. Even if you're doing it wrong, people respect you way more. People respect you way more for owning up to your mistakes. So if you're out, like, you're just blaming other people and like not taking like accountability for what you do and not owning up for what you do, people's going to just be like, oh, I really don't want him on my team, or I don't want him in my circle. It's bigger than just basketball. Like, if you take accountability in life, people is just going to want to be around you more. I think my fifth strength, honestly, and this is just a life strength, like in general, just my ability to talk to people and always keep your eyes up. Like when you're talking to them, look them in the eyes when you're talking to them. When you shake somebody's hand, you stand up, you look them in the eye, you let them know your name or whatever. It's just big. It's just a big confidence thing. Like I've always struggled with confidence, and I still do kind of a little bit, but I've definitely say I went from like here all the way up to like here. You know what I mean? So confidence is like a big thing. So just the way your ability to talk to people and talk to like coaches, like that goes a long way. So for example, like I remember one time, I think it was freshman year going into sophomore year, summertime, and my coach was like looking around. Like I was with my coach a lot that summer. So my coach was like looking around for like a new gym to like probably like rent or whatnot, so we could work out in it basically. And the dude, he had knew. He went in there, shook his hand, whatnot, and I shook his hand, not even noticing shaking his hand. I said my name all low, and I was like, I didn't look him in the eye. So later that day, I'm going home thinking nothing of it. Then my coach, I get a call from my coach just like randomly. I'm like basically about to take a nap. So he was like, did you shake that, when you shook that dude's hand, did you look him in the eye? I'm like, I really don't know. He was like, I don't think you did. And that's just a big confidence thing. And that's okay. We're just going to get better at it. So from that moment on, like I just tried to work on myself, and I just knew like it was bigger than just basketball. Like if you wasn't confident with yourself in life, how are you going to be confident on the court? You know what I mean? So I think I've grown like my confidence like a great bit. So that's really it for my strengths. So now we're about to get into my weaknesses. Of course, I'm gonna let y'all know the ups and downs of my life and my game and all that. So, all right, so from a skill standpoint, we're about to get this out the way. My right hand is trash. I'm left-handed. My second weakness is another kind of skill weakness on the court. It's my stamina. I know you can always like build your stamina like by running, just run or whatnot. But like when I work out by myself, there's not much running because I honestly don't know how to like think of a proper self-workout, honestly. And if y'all can help me with a proper self-workout, let me know in the comments, honestly, because I still struggle with it to this day. So I'm still trying to just figure out certain stuff. And like, I don't want to make an excuse, but like I do have asthma. So like that takes a toll on it also. Like when I'm in a game and I'm gassed, I'm gonna be way more gassed than the next person without asthma because of course I have asthma and like my airways close up. I'm gonna build that up this season. So y'all gonna like gradually see me build that up this season. Watch. I'm gonna be able to run all game at a fast pace with no breaks at all. My third weakness is, honestly, if I'm being honest, I have a problem with this because I'm in high school and those that are in high school too. I tend to compare myself with people that are like that have already been in my shoes and I just didn't see it. So I tend to compare myself with people on social media that already have it and that's already there at their destination and I'm still at the bottom. Like, so like, for example, like if I'm on social media and I'm looking at Ant Edwards. I'm looking at Ant Edwards and it's like, oh man, he's doing this and this and that. And when like he was in college, he was doing this, he was at Georgia. But like, he took his own, like he's different than you. He's not the same person as you. Like he was born with different things. You were born with different things. He's worked a certain amount of hours. You haven't worked a certain amount of hours, which is all right. Like your life is your life. So I need to realize that sometimes that like I cannot get caught up in comparing myself with these big people that already done what they had to do and they're living their life. You know what I mean? And we're just starting. So don't compare your level 1 to their level 100. You're still on chapter 1, page 1. Their book is already finished, you know. For my fourth weakness, if I'm being honest with myself, I try to find shortcuts. Like, I try to get around all the hard stuff. Like, I don't like working like 9-to-5 jobs, and there's no problem with working 9-to-5 jobs, don't get me wrong. But like, I try to find shortcuts to like getting funds or whatever, you know what I mean? So you just got to tell yourself that there's no shortcuts. If you get through this, there will be a reward at the end. So I tend to get caught up in trying to find shortcuts, and like, I'm like, all right, how do I do this? How do I do that? Without going through all this. Like, no, you got to go through all this to get here. Like, there's no other way. If you try and go off this way, you're just going to fall off the bridge or whatever. You know what I mean? So there's no shortcuts. I always like tend to remind myself like there's no shortcuts. You just got to go through it. Like, so anytime I try to find a shortcut, I just got to tell myself like, bro, it's going to be hard, but if you get through it, it'll be all worth it. My fifth weakness and my last weakness that I have on this list, of course, there's a lot more. It's kind of hard to think of off the spot. Like, I'm kind of just going with the flow at this point. But my fifth weakness that I came up with, honestly, is I overthink a lot. Like, I don't let life just flow. Like, I overthink all the way ahead rather than just worried about today. You know what I mean? So if I stop overthinking and just let life happen and just go with the flow, it'll just be more like, I won't be stressing as much, you know what I mean? Like, I'll be able to enjoy what I got in the moment. Like, sometimes I was just stressing about like maybe I didn't score like too much, like maybe I didn't score too well in the game, and it's like, oh man, how do I, like, am I not this good? Am I like, what's going on? Like, do I got to do this? Do I got to do that? And it's like, no, honestly, you played a good game. You're just looking at all the bad things because you didn't live up to your expectations you didn't meet your expectations like you wanted. So if you just don't overthink, you just let it kind of flow, like, you'll start to realize the good you do and stuff, and like, you'll start to live in the moment. I got teammates that tell me that, my coaches tell me that, people around me that tell me that all the time. So if you just live in the moment, don't overthink, and just let stuff flow, you'll just feel a lot better about things that you're actually doing. You'll notice all the good things that you're doing. And all right, to end this out, the last question, do I have any offers or interest? Honestly, I don't have any offers or interest, but I've been on, 2 camps, so I'm kind of on the radar of Mercyhurst and Slippery Rock, which is, Mercyhurst just went up to D1 and Slippery Rock's D2. I have been applying to get into schools. So far, I've gotten to Robert Morris, IUP, Edinburgh, and Youngstown State. So what I'm going to do, honestly, I just got my schedule for the season, so I'm going to start emailing coaches a lot. Let me know if y'all want a video on me emailing coaches, because I can figure out a way to make that happen, honestly. So I'm going to email coaches. I'm going to just keep doing it. Hopefully they show up to one of my games, and I'm going to just, all season, I'm going to just try and hoop out. Like, just try and make the best of my last season. Even if I don't get any offers or interest or anything, I won't mind going through JUCO or NAIA or whatever. So like, if I'm not ready to play at those levels, I won't mind taking an extra year or two to just develop myself. And then when it's time, it'll be time. It's just all about the right time. So when it's my time, it'll be my time. But as of right now, I don't have any offers or interest, but I'll definitely keep y'all updated if I do, like, if a coach says something to me, or if I get any little like buzz from a coach, I will let y'all know for sure. All right, y'all, that's it for the end of this vid. Let me know what y'all want to see in the comments. Make sure y'all sub, like up, hit that bell, all that. I will reply to every comment that has a question, honestly. I appreciate y'all for watching. That being said, I'll see y'all on the next vid.
Here we go again. Big body bench. Cut off all my friends. Choppers for my enemies.